All right, so here goes. Before I start, I have created a Google Drive folder that I have shared with my school with all the writings I have made for my assignments here because I think they are valuable for conversations that we should be having in our schools with the guidance of administration on in our school on who to have these conversations with and they have facilitated a lot in establishing this. And the course has been very beneficial in having these conversations, starting with our activity that was about differentiated instruction. That was definitely a whole week of back and forth chit chat with a couple of teachers on differentiated instruction. Now, the hot topic for this week was technology and instruction. I've now become a member in the professional development committee in my school. I am tomorrow offering smart board sessions, and for the coming month or two I will be continuously offering digital tools. Being an IT teacher, a computer teacher, I will be offering digital tools to help our teachers develop their skills in technology and to give them just things they haven't seen before, things that will remove all that I call heavy lifting so that teachers are free to actually teach. But enough about that. Let's jump into this week's email interviews that I conducted. They were about technology in instructions. So these are the four questions I chose, or the four questions I have formulated. First one is very obvious. How do you integrate technology in your class? Second one is, what questions do you ask yourself when you integrate technology in your lesson plan? Third one is there a digital tool that you think has significantly improved your instruction? And the last question is, what is, in your opinion, the ideal amount of technology to be used in instruction? Now, the reason I added question number 4 is because I wanted to gauge and see how receptive or how willing my fellow teachers, my peers, will be to adding more technology in the classroom. So this question was mainly geared towards that. Are they comfortable with more technology in the classroom or not? And depending on their answer on this question, I would have gained insight into that point. So I'm starting off with a nursery teacher. She believes that nursery is basically should be focused more on developing children's senses and skills, fine motor skills, kinesthetic skills, and all these different skills that do not necessarily overlap with technology. And she uses it very minimally. She thinks it's great for children, but on very, very small doses, especially children on the nursery age. And I do not disagree with that statement, although I do not have experience with nursery students, but some research on that front will definitely clear my mind on this issue. But that's her input on this front anyways. And I move on to that. I have a learning support teacher, and part-time she teaches 8th grade English. And for her, because the school this year, it's the first year we have introduced the ebooks for science, English, and math from grades 1 through grade 8. She really likes the idea of the ebook. She uses a lot of PowerPoint presentations. She uses websites that have exercises on them. So definitely this is one of our teachers that does not mind using technology, that thinks technology makes her job easier. And what she asks herself when she integrates technology into her lesson plan is it going to reach across to the students? Is it going to fulfill standards? Is it going to encourage them to be creative? Is it going to grab their attention? Is it going to be fun for them? Will it engage students? Basically, it will be all under the umbrella for her of student engagement. Now, also with student engagement, she also concerned is if it covers the subjects she is teaching or not. Does it cover the standards? Is it aligned with the standards and all of that stuff? Now, for her, the most important tool she's using right now is the ebook. And for her also, this has been a response that has resonated across several interviews I did. For her, the optimum amount is at least 3 times a week. Some others said at most 3 times, but the number 3 times a week has definitely been said more than once in these interviews. Now I move on from here to a 10th grade English teacher. She says she uses technology in a variety of ways. She uses it in English. She uses a software called Globe Theater to teach English. She uses our smartboard infrastructure in school. We have smart pens and e-beams we used with a software called Active Inspire to create interactive lessons for students, and she uses that with her students. And when she uses technology in her lesson plan, she asks, will the technology infrastructure that the school has, will it help the students in any way, or will it not? That's basically what it boils down to her. And again, as I said, for her, the optimum idea is minimum 3 out of the 5 days, maybe more. I move on from there to a senior student, grade 12 English teacher. For her, technology is a really essential part to her class. She uses a lot of different software, not only limited to the stuff you mentioned. She uses Google Classroom for assigning papers. She uses TED Ed for TED Talks to inspire her students to write. She uses online dictionaries for her students. What she asks herself when she uses technology, when she wants to integrate technology in her lesson plans, is, will this increase student engagement? Will it achieve learning outcomes? Is it too complex for the students to understand? Is the technology she's using an outdated technology, or is it updated technology? Does it have advanced options if the students want to dive deeper or not? And in her opinion, she uses it only for about a third of her lessons. And that's interesting because she's very technology oriented, yet she believes that she only wants to use it for a third of her lessons. And this is something I will definitely look into further on with her. I believe that this will change when our school introduces tablets, because by then this will increase a lot, because students will make the switch from hardcover books to soft copy and interactive lessons and ebooks and all of that, because her grade level hasn't made that change so far. So I'm expecting about 2/3 or 3/4 of class will be spent on tablets, and definitely something to be inspected again in the future. I'll go back to that with her later. Now, all in all, before this activity started, I had a few questions about teachers not being receptive to technology, being adverse to technology, teachers not moving from the past age of technology and stepping into the digital age. These interviews and these conversations I've been having have given me hope that there is definitely room for change, but it would require us having these conversations more often than we are having them now. This is something I plan to do in the future. For that reason, I have joined the Professional Development Committee in my school, where I am now Vice Chairman. I am in charge for offering technology professional development to my peers, the first of which will be using our existing infrastructure, second of which I will be offering digital tools, basically any tool that would be attractive to teachers. And what is attractive so far that I'm seeing is tools that do all the heavy lifting, so the teachers are free to teach. So I'm going to focus on that in the future, and definitely me and a few other people will lead that movement in our school to move into the digital age. And thanks for watching.